Welcome back everyone, Meanpooh here, and I'm pretty sure you know that Red Dead Redemption 2 has been released. The game has been riddled with problems such as being stuck on the launcher and some crashing at startup. For me and many others with the Acer Nitro 5 with the 1050 Ti, it's going to be a bad day. I do believe this is the game that will make you want to get another system. I decided to do some benchmarks on the game, and I used the in-game program to do it, like the one that's in Grand Theft Auto 5. The game has a lot of options to adjust and would take forever to try them all. There is a particular slider that has 3 options. The graphic options are favor quality, balanced, and favor performance. This will adjust the options in bulk. I also have the core clock at 252 and memory clock at 180, and the fan profile is set to auto. The first resolution I tried was 1920 by 1080 using the Vulkan API. Starting with the quality preset, minimum FPS was 0.17, maximum FPS was 60.05, and the average FPS was 20.64. Using the balanced preset, minimum FPS was 0.15, maximum FPS was 65.40, and average FPS was 25.83. The performance preset gave us a minimum FPS of 0.12, a maximum FPS of 72, and an average FPS of 31.57. Like in previous benchmarks, the lower the preset we pick, the more performance we gain. And just looking at this, we had an average of 20.64 starting out, but when we were done, we had an average of 31.57. So that's pretty good, but we are still right at the 30 FPS, and what we're doing, we're trying to get around 60 FPS to have a very enjoyable experience while playing this game. Now, while running the benchmark, the game had some stutters going on. Sometimes the game would freeze, and as I test more resolutions, you will see some really bad graphic errors, such as a washed out screen. For the next one, I had to drop the resolution to 1600 by 900, but I could not do it using Vulkan, so DirectX 12 had to be used. Vulkan is locked to 1920 by 1080 on the Acer Nitro 5, and I'm not sure what it is on other machines. It could be tied to the LCD panel, I'm just not sure until I try it out. So at 1600 by 900, the quality preset has a minimum FPS of 10.50, a maximum FPS of 60.56, and an average FPS of 23.45. The balanced preset had a minimum FPS of 18.08, a maximum FPS of 75.16, and an average FPS of 28.34. The performance preset had a minimum FPS of 0.16, a max FPS of 64.52, and an average FPS of 40.23. So from the last lowest performance preset, we went from 31.57 and we're moving on up to 40.23. That's not where we want to be, so hopefully jumping on down to the next resolution will help us out. So with each preset we use, we do increase in FPS, and as you can see, the same happens when dropping resolution. Did you happen to see how the graphics are changing? Like I said earlier, you will start to see the screen wash out at lower resolutions for some reason. This should not happen at all. Maybe it's the 1050 Ti? I'm not sure, but what I am sure of is if you turn everything off, the game is ugly. Here, have a look. These are the settings I used. Everything is at a minimum, and I mean at a minimum. I tried to turn it, if I could turn it off, I turned it off. So, at last we get to the lowest point we can go, 1280 by 720. And this was just not normal. I tried restarting and it still had the same effects on screen. With the quality preset, minimum FPS was 12.05, maximum FPS was 73.94, and average FPS was 25.70. Balance preset had a minimum FPS of 0.15, maximum FPS gave us 72.75, and the average FPS was 44.27. The last preset, which was performance, gave us a minimum FPS of 15.37, a max FPS of 77.40, and an average FPS of 53.90. And I think we could really use that 53.90 on this game. And you know, this truly is a bad day for the 1050, I ain't gonna lie. You can take your chances with the 1280 by 720 with the performance preset, or you can use the 1600 by 900 using the same preset. You'll have lower FPS, but it will look just a bit better. Here's some gameplay at 1080p using Vulkan with the performance preset. If you can deal with the FPS in the 40s, then this might work out. Just in case you missed it, there are no undervolt supply, and the GPU has a core clock of 252 and a memory clock of 180. I hate to say it, but if games are going graphically this hard in the coming months, which I'm pretty sure they will, it's time to wrap it up. I was really thinking the Vulkan API was going to help out, but that wasn't the case. I just hope that Rockstar Games can get the game to run a little bit better, or you know, a lot better than how it's running now. The constant freezes and stutters in some places, it's very annoying. I feel like we're beta testing software at this point, and they really need to get on this. But you know, until then, if this video helped you, feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Meanpooh, out.
Strip everything we can from them.
You recognize any of them, Dutch?
Of course not. Colm doesn't give a damn about his men. All he cares about is numbers. If you can shoot a gun and ride a